What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Land Podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Sles. With me, as always, Titan Mike Kessinger. How you doing tonight, Mike?
Not too bad, not too bad. We got some big news and some what ifs going on right now in sports world. And
Yeah, there's a lot of rumors flying
we're
around.
going to talk about them. That fourth loss by Ohio State yesterday was kind of off-putting, but today with Michigan's loss, Michigan State makes those four losses not look too bad because they're all against top 10 teams.
Yeah, Michigan State's getting hot at the right time.
Yeah, I mean, look, Michigan State's not a top 10 team right now, right? They're not ranked or anything, but they beat a number 2 team, and we lose to number 9 Iowa, which now is they're a top 5 team.
Yeah.
We lose to Illinois, it's going to be top 5 team, and then Michigan, top 5 team.
Right.
So 3 of the 4 losses against top 5 teams, and they weren't super blowouts either.
No. That'd be crazy if all 4 of those teams were like in separate brackets.
I think 2 Ohio State and Illinois or Ohio State and Michigan were in the same bracket or will be in the same bracket.
Yeah.
So that would be cool to see a Final Four, all Big Ten Final
Four.
But
that would be cool. But I'm sure that there will be a couple of them in there the way it's going.
Yeah,
that's good teams this year in the Big Ten for sure.
Yeah, they'll make it. I'm predicting 4 to 5 Big Ten teams in the Sweet 16 this year.
Yeah, for sure. I think Selection Sunday is next Sunday, I believe, right?
Yeah. Are we gonna do a bracket for the show bracket?
Yeah, we can do that.
Well, that sounds like a fun idea. We can post that up there, and then we do a collaborative one, or you want to do individuals?
We can do individuals, go against each other like we do with the NFL picks.
We don't go against the picks.
Huh?
We don't go against the NFL picks.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, for our record. She has a better record at the end of the year.
Oh, pick'ems.
Yeah,
I'm thinking like draft picks.
No, pick'ems.
I was like, we do a collaborative draft.
No, our NFL pick'ems that we do every year.
Yeah, well, we could try that out. See what's up. I picked Cleveland State to win it all.
Cleveland State. That'd be funny. I'd go for that.
They're looking pretty good. They're not. I don't think they'll have that miracle run that Loyola did or whatever.
Right.
But I can see making an upset in the first round. They're playing really hot. The coaches, they have a great coach there in Cleveland State.
Right.
And they're a young, very, very underrated team there. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. But
yeah, that'd be awesome.
You got four different categories here. What do you want to jump into first?
Well, let's start with the Indians. They lost today. They're 4-4. I know records don't really mean much during spring training. Just some notes. Some of the young infielders are looking pretty good. Andre Jimenez, who we got in the Lindor deal, 4 for 10 with a homer and 3 RBIs so far. And Gabriel Arias, he made his first out today. He's now 6 for 7 with 2 RBIs on the spring. He's one of the guys that got in the Clevenger deal last year.
Yeah.
The highly regarded infielder. And Ernie Clement, who's vying for a utility spot, he's 4 for 8 with 4 RBIs. So those guys
are looking pretty good.
Yeah, he had a 2-homer game the other day. He drove in another run.
Your boy
today.
Bobby Bradley.
Yeah, he's hit two absolute bombs. Lost 35 pounds, but I was reading. I forget everything he said. His whole off-season regimen, he lost weight without losing strength, and he's looking pretty good. So he knows this is pretty much do or die. He's got to win the first base job this year, or it's over. He's 24 years old, so.
I don't know. I don't necessarily think it's over for him if he don't win first base. Like if he's lost 35 pounds, like he says, and he's more athletic, quicker, and if his bat stays as hot as it is, and he doesn't win first base because his glove's not that great, for some reason, it's different than first base is different than catching pop flies because you got to scoop stuff all the time.
Well, I guess he's looking better. He said he feels a lot lighter on his feet, and would just help them defensively at first base.
Yeah, but I would with the uncertainty that Cleveland has in its outfield, because there's no one, maybe one. Naylor may be the only solid person there,
Well, Eddie Rosario too. You're not taking him out of there.
Okay, well then Rosario is probably the only solidified one there. Everything else probably up for grabs. Right. Why not Bobby Bradley jump in the mix? I mean.
Well, you could see Ahmed Rosario moving out there too. If Jimenez keeps hitting like this, how are you going to send him down?
Yeah.
Got to put him at short. He's the better defensive shortstop of the two. So it all comes down to the service time the Indians like to manipulate.
Now, do we put
Sending him down for
Jose
April.
Is Jose going at second and Yu Chang at third, or
No, right now he's playing third. So Chang's in the mix probably for the utility spot.
okay? Who you have starting second?
That's Cesar Hernandez. Remember they
Cesar
resigned
Hernandez.
him. Yeah,
Okay.
he'll be the leadoff hitter.
Okay.
So there's a couple of guys vying for the fifth spot in the rotation. Logan Allen's made one appearance. It was a good one. Had 2 innings pitched, no hits or runs, struck out 2. Cal Quantrill was good in his start. He pitched 2 innings, gave up 1 hit with a strikeout. His relief appearance, not so good. 1 in the 3rd inning, 3 hits, 2 runs, did strike out 2 batters. Plitko got lit up today. I really don't want to see him in the 5th spot. He's one of those guys, soft tosser. If he's good, he's pretty good. But when he's not good, he's terrible, and he usually gets the shit beat out of him, like he did today. But I think Logan Allen and Cal Quantrill are the 2 finalists for that 5th spot. It'd be nice to have a lefty in the rotation too with Allen.
Yeah,
I know they've invested a lot in him, and they're pretty high on him. And he changed some things mechanics wise too, and he's looking better. So he could be the favorite. And then today the news came out. I don't know if you saw Franmil Reyes.
I saw.
Jose Ramirez. They're in COVID protocol because they went out to dinner together, and guys aren't allowed to go out to restaurants.
I'm so sick of this. I'm so
it's
sick of this COVID shit. Like, I'm just so sick of it. Like,
and Arizona doesn't have the no mask. There's no mask rule there anymore. But
Arizona, you sure Arizona?
I think they're one of the ones that lifted it.
I thought it was Texas, Florida, and Mississippi.
All right, maybe they didn't. Somebody said today that they lifted it, but maybe they didn't.
They may be looking to lift it. Last I heard it was Texas, Mississippi, and Florida hasn't done nothing since the beginning. So
right.
Because Florida's just Florida.
Yeah.
But
of course,
very well may. Arizona very well may. But
remember Reyes got busted last spring he went to a party or something without a mask on, and he got suspended. Who knows? Hopefully they don't suspend these guys. I'm so
sorry. Like, you want me to stay? You want me to just sit in my hotel room and order room service all day? Like,
yeah, I guess that they can order in, but they can't go out the restaurant.
No. I'm still a person. All right?
Right.
I'm still a human being. I'm not in prison. This is not prison. MLB does not sound for. It's not an acronym for prison. Like.
All right, I get it. I'm with you 100%.
I think it's dumb, and all these players, the players have the power. The players don't think they have the power. They have the power because without them, there's no product.
Right.
Without no product, the owners don't make no money. So these players go. If you don't let us have a little bit of leeway, don't go to massive parties. Wear your mask, social distance, but go out. You can go out to dinner. You can go. Not recommending you go to a bar and everything like that, but at least let them go out to dinner, go out to eat. And if it's a team event, a team dinner, reserve a table. You guys are all in the locker room anyways, probably not wearing masks anyways.
But I don't see the big deal about 2 guys. I mean, tables are 6 feet apart. Yeah. You got to wear the mask till you get to the table. I don't.
Yeah, I don't.
Whatever. It's their rules, I guess. You gotta obey them. So who knows how long they'll be out, but I'm sure it's not going to be very long. Probably just until I think they have to pass 2 tests before they can come back.
Yeah.
So
it won't be the last time.
No, I'm sure it'll happen again.
Oh yeah.
So speaking of the rumors flying around, a lot of them are associated with the Cavaliers. Heard another one today, but it sounds like the Knicks, Bulls, and Raptors are the front runners for Andre Drummond. And it's looking like it'll probably be a 3-team deal just because of his salary and all the moving parts in the salary that the Cavs will have to take back. But I'm kind of surprised by the Bulls. I mean,
they're not in like a win now mode.
I can see the Knicks. They're in the 5th spot. They're playing 500 ball. They're trying to make a splash. They've been bad for so long in Toronto. Yeah, they need a big man because you're looking at the 76ers is the top team in the East. You got Joel Embiid, so
you need someone to be down low with them. Yeah,
right. So that's what the guys are. The other teams are looking at in the East right now. But Drummond, I know Boston's had some interest as well. I guess Tristan Thompson's not working out too well there.
No,
not fitting in too well like he did here. But the interesting one is there are 2 teams supposedly interested in Kevin Love.
Wow.
The Dallas Mavericks, and today it came out the Sacramento Kings, who are tired of being in lottery purgatory, and they're looking to shake up their roster and add some veteran pieces. So
Kevin Love's not taking you out of lottery purgatory.
no, well, the hope is all the guys that are hurt are supposed to come back after the All-Star break, so hopefully he can come back and put up some numbers and show he's healthy before the 25th, and then they can move him and get something for him. We just got to get that contract off the books at this point.
Yeah.
I don't care what we have to take back.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see Kevin Love moved. I like Kevin Love, don't get me wrong.
I do too, but I mean, he doesn't fit anymore. I mean, with the style they're playing. And some of these young guys like Dean Wade is playing really well. I mean, he's a young guy you want to get a look at, see what you got in him. And then, of course, they have Nance, who's another story. Cavs are getting a ton of calls on him. Allegedly, he had an offer for 2 first-round picks. I don't know.
And we were talking about that before the show started.
Yeah.
If the Cavs literally said no on a 2 first round, I get it. Like you said, it was most likely a contender or someone,
right
in the playoffs, and then you're looking at a bottom third of the first round type draft picks. Well, that's fine because Cavs are picking in the top third of the draft picks. So you get 2. Now you're looking at 3 first round picks, a top 12 pick, almost guaranteed, top 12, top 10 most likely, and then you got two other first rounds. You're looking at probably 20 and somewhere in the early 20s and somewhere in the late 20s.
Yeah, by all accounts too, this is going to be a very, very good draft, a deep draft.
And that's what I'm seeing that. So you can go and package one of those leaders and that top 10 pick and either move up in the draft, even move up top 5. I mean, if you have to move all three first round picks that year and get a top 3 pick and throw a player in there or something, and you can get a cornerstone player in the draft, like a player that would be a Alonzo Ball type, not like Alonzo Ball, but like a.
Well, Cade Cunningham, he's the one I keep hearing is the cornerstone guy this year.
Well, yeah, we talk about player caliber here, John Morant, Zion Williamson, someone like that has all that hype and all that, expectation that's going to change the franchise. John Morant has been solid his whole career so far.
Yeah.
Same with Zion Williamson. So if you can move 3 first-round picks and get a player like that you can have for the next 8 to 10 years, hopefully, that's just a game changer because those late-round picks and say you pick 10, you're not getting a franchise player at 10 unless you find that diamond in the rough. You're gonna get probably you can walk away with an all-star player,
Right.
But you're not looking at a franchise-changing player. And then those late ones, you're looking at a starter, a mediocre starter, or a random here or there all-star player,
Right.
Who knows what you get, or they all could be bust. But
right.
But if you can package all that together and almost guarantee yourself a cornerstone, why wouldn't you move that? Because Larry Nance isn't a cornerstone player. I don't care if he's a fan favorite or he, like you said, was leading the league in steals. Leading the league in steals are they winning?
Well, they were when he was playing. He's been out for a while.
500. That's not winning. That's playing par.
Compared to how we've been the last couple of years, it is.
I get that part. But then if you add a John Morant type caliber player, what are your chance? What would you rather have? That or a fan favorite that can steal the ball 3 times?
Oh, I'm still bitter about getting screwed in the lottery last year, missing out.
We've getting screwed the last 2 years. Right. So I mean, that's beside the point. It's a different conversation. But
we would have got Zion and Morant would be in much better shape right now.
That's what I'm saying. Even so, if you had the opportunity to make that trade Larry Nance to acquire 2 first rounds, regardless if they're late, you can package that. People don't look at it's the 24th. Okay, you have 23rd, 24th, and the 10th. You package all those, and you can get a 5th. Especially if you're lucky with someone got some of these teams in the lottery are like the Golden State Warriors had 1 down year.
Right.
All right, and they drafted what?
Wiseman.
Exactly.
Their center. Yeah.
First, he was projected for a long time to be the number 1 overall pick.
Right.
For months straight. And they had 1 off year. Curry, everybody was hurt. So you could do why wouldn't the only number would do that? Like, damn, we can get all these picks, drop down, fill our roster. We're still contenders, so we were just hurting.
Right.
And you don't have to worry about the Cavs. We don't worry about the Cavs getting this 5th round pick because they're not they're not even close to our caliber. So I just we're leaning on this, but I just think
I get it.
It'd be stupid to pass on a deal like that just because he's a fan favorite.
Well,
Deli's a fan favorite. So you pass on 2 first round from Deli, I'm coming down and blowing up Gilbert's office. I'll tell you right now.
In addition to Drummond, Love, and now Nance, they've also made Chetty Osman, Torian Prince, and JaVale McGee available. Actually, pretty much everybody except for Sexton, Garland, Jared Allen, and Isaac Okoro are pretty much available. Chetty has had some interest from the Nets and the Clippers. I don't know what the Nets have left to trade, but
they just signed Griffin. Like, how much more do they need? Like, they're pushing luxury tax. Like,
them and the Clippers are looking at him as a guy off the bench.
The Clippers makes more sense to me.
Yeah, and then JaVale McGee's a valuable big man, definitely off the bench. I mean, he's been playing very well. So
he's a very underrated. It's a very manageable contract.
I actually heard the Lakers were interested in getting him back.
Yeah,
so it's gonna. I think the team's gonna look different after the trade deadline for sure. Some of these guys are gonna be moved. But like I said, Love, Deli, Torian Prince, and Nance are all expected back after the All-Star break on Friday. So we'll see what happens with Love, and I'm sure he's not going to play a lot of minutes to start, but hopefully he stays healthy and puts up some nice numbers and they can move him. Colin Sexton, I love angry Colin Sexton. Got snubbed for the All-Star game. In the 5 games since getting snubbed, he's averaging 30.2 points and 6 assists a game. So hopefully he keeps that up.
We'll see.
I didn't. I know what's going on right now. I guess saw the alert. Steph Curry won the 3-point shootout. I didn't watch any of it.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I'm not watching this.
Yeah, I didn't really care. But we can move on to the Cleveland Browns. And I mentioned before our show started, a report just came out not too long ago that supposedly the Browns are moving on from Rashard Higgins due to monetary demands by Higgins. I know we heard that. I know I could have sworn he quoted him not even a week ago and said, just put the contract on the table and I'll sign it. So I don't know what's happened between then and now. But it sounds like he's not going to be a Cleveland Brown next year. So
LeBron probably called him and said, look, you can get more than that from Cleveland. Don't.
Right. So we'll be looking for another wide receiver.
Yeah, but you're not. If with Beckham coming back and Jarvis, you're looking for, and Peoples-Jones, why move up to the 3rd spot? You're looking for a 4th round receiver, a number 4. I like Adam Humphries. Adam Humphries could be an option for you to pick up. He's released by Tennessee. That'd be a low signing. Probably get him for a 1-year deal, $4.5, $5 million, and it's a prove it type deal, and he gives you a body. And you doesn't even have to start, but it's a proven veteran, that has had experience in a similar offense. That
I know Brashad Perriman was mentioned, and he obviously has the chemistry with Baker from a couple of years ago, and he's a burner, so another deep downfield threat. So that wouldn't be a bad option either.
And you get rid of Njoku, and you could be looking at a reunion of Kyle Rudolph and Stefanski.
Yeah. I don't know if he's rescinded his trade demand or what's going on with that.
They released him.
No, I mean
Njoku.
Remember last year he wanted to be traded.
Dad just released his ass. There's nothing. A 5th-year contract not guaranteed.
Yeah. Although he did play pretty well last year.
He's so hit or miss. I'd rather have someone that's more consistent. I don't care if you make big catches. I'd rather have you had. Yeah, every once in a while you make a great touchdown catch, but if you can't move the sticks consistently, for me, you're not worth it. Like, I'd rather you move the sticks 4 to 5 times than catch, 2 out of 10 elite touchdown catches. Like, because you move the sticks, that's all I need to do. First down, we can keep going. We can regroup and keep driving. But
speaking of tight ends, they did tender Steven Carlson contract for 2021. And also defensive end Porter Gustin.
You know what they tendered him at? Was it a 2nd round, 3rd round?
Didn't say what either one. It just said very good chance they're with the Browns. So
it's probably a 2nd round tender.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I'm sorry, I'm not trading a 2nd round pick for neither one of those players.
No,
that ain't happening.
No,
I don't care how how good Porter-Gustin could be or played last year.
He's a good backup rotation defensive end.
He ain't worth a second round pick.
No, not at all.
So, but
there was some other news this week. Did you see Baker and Emily Mayfield saw a UFO in Texas?
They were drunk. They had to be drunk.
Yeah, I seen a video that somebody else posted. There was like a white light, like quickly went through the sky.
Was it a star?
Probably a shooting star. I'm guessing it's probably what it was. But yeah, everybody thought it was a UFO. Then did you see the video of Wyatt Teller carrying the alligator?
What do you expect out of country boy? Do they do dumb stuff, right? Just dumb stuff. Like what was it? Who was it? Who was on a video of someone a lineman on a fan boat in the bayou?
Yeah,
like white them country boy linemen, dude. They do some dumb stuff. Like I'm not even like.
I guess there were some people up in arms because he killed the alligator.
It's called hunting.
Right.
Get over it, you snowflakes. Like Jesus Christ. Man.
Yeah, we don't want to go there. That's a whole nother show. We could do a whole show about that.
I don't want to.
I don't either.
I'm so sick of it.
So decided to start going by position and kind of analyzing the Browns, kind of what they have, their free agents, and then.
So we start with the corners.
Defensive backs, corners and safeties.
Okay.
So
that's two positions, but okay.
Yeah. Well, kind of.
It's two positions.
Grouping them together,
okay.
But
if you want to be technical, it's like four, because a nickel corner is its own free and strong.
I don't want to get too crazy.
Well, I'm just letting you know it's like four positions. I'm here to educate.
So, looking at what we have signed for 2021, cornerbacks, we got Denzel Ward, Greedy Williams was just cleared 100%, so he'll be back. MJ Stewart did a pretty nice job as a backup last year. Brian Allen, he's a young guy that was on the practice squad, and then for whatever reason they re-signed Robert Jackson. Wasn't
it after they released him too?
Yeah, they released him and then re-signed him. And safety.
The NFL doesn't have a Jonas rule or something like that. Like,
no, I guess not.
Okay.
I don't think anybody would make a stink about Robert Jackson.
Well, that's Pro Bowl. That's all pro corners right there.
And safety wise, we got Ronnie Harrison, Grant Delpit. He'll be back after his being out for all of 2020 with the injury. Sheldrick Redwine was a pretty decent backup, and then Javante Mofat, a young guy who was undrafted who they signed, who they like.
Yeah.
So that's what we've got on the roster. As far as our free agents, cornerback, we've got Terrence Mitchell, Kevin Johnson, and Tavier Thomas.
Yeah.
Excuse me. That safety, Tedrick Thompson, Andrew Sendejo, and Carl Joseph. Guys, as far as guys I'd like to see back, I think Terrence Mitchell. I think he's been pretty solid the last few years. And Tavier Thomas is a really good special teams player. I think we've talked about him in the past. Safety wise, out of those three,
Sendejo.
No. Carl Joseph, I wouldn't mind having back as a backup. Yeah, Sende, no. So what are your thoughts on those guys?
Safety, I only want to see back is Carl Joseph.
Yep.
I like him and Ronnie Harrison back there. It's some hard hitting safeties. He's not really a ball hawk in safeties. You know, Ronnie Harrison, I guess, is more of the ball hawk than Carl Joseph, but they're not ball hawks. They
like to hit.
They're the run stuffing, gap shooting, splitting safeties, you know, that come on the top and just nail the receiver and hope to draw the ball loose. They're not the best in coverage, but they're not Sendejo getting burnt by like Sendejo. Right. I would like to see, I guess Terrence Mitchell would be the only starting one. Like you said, Tyler Thomas wasn't too bad special teams. If you brought back Kevin Johnson as a special team or a fifth corner, I wouldn't be upset.
Well, I heard today, I read, I think it was Mary Kay Cabot said that once the salary cap is established, they're going to offer contracts to Mitchell and Johnson both.
Yeah. Like I said, if I was a pick, I'd go Mitchell, Thomas first. Because you could draft a fifth corner somewhere in the fourth, fifth round and see what he offers, you know, and it'd be a lot cheaper than a contract that Kevin Johnson would Gardner and But if if you wanted to bring him back as a fourth or fifth option, I'll be okay because you don't know what you got. You don't know what you got in Greedy Williams. You know what you got in Terrence Mitchell. You know you got Denzel Ward. Greedy Williams is still up in the air. Next three: MJ Stewart, Allen, and Jackson. I don't know if you're looking at starters there at all.
Right,
I mean,
special teams guys.
Yeah, those guys are like shit hit the fan starters.
Yeah, like Jackson having to come in the end of last year because of all the injuries.
But he didn't play that bad though. Like he didn't play. He held his own. He wasn't horrible.
Yeah, I mean he's not immensely talented. He did the best of his ability,
and he didn't cause us to lose games.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you could burn corner in there and just get burnt and have he wasn't for what he is. I thought he played well.
Well, it's tough to pull a guy off the practice squad and say, "Hey, you're starting a playoff game."
Exactly. Yeah. Here, go cover.
Yeah, go cover. Yeah.
Tyreek Hill, go get him.
Yeah.
But
So looking at the NFL free agents at those positions, cornerback, I just kind of picked like the top guys that are free agents.
Yeah.
Got Patrick Peterson. He's probably obviously going to be too high price for the Browns. AJ Boye, who was released recently. Desmond Trufant. Richard Sherman, I guess they've already said they're not interested in him, even though he was interested in coming here. A couple more, DJ Hayden, Josh Norman, he's 34, so we can probably roll him out. Buster Screen, who we had before. Jason McCourty is another guy who's up there in age. Brian Poole, and then Xavier Rhodes. Any of those guys interest you?
Patrick Peterson will most likely be back in Arizona with the signing of Watt. They're going to want to bring back their back end, and I can see Patrick Peterson taking a what they call a home team discount, which is not even a home team. I don't even know if he's from Arizona, but that's where he played. Right. And with the addition of Watt, he might like to play with the defense to see. So I don't think you have a chance with him. Boye, he's going to demand some money. I don't know if he's worth it. So I see him out at Rhodes and Trufant. I like the guys that I like to see the Browns look at targeting. Trufant's been pretty solid at Detroit those last 4 years. And Xavier Rhodes was pretty. I saw him twice last year in Indianapolis, and he played pretty well. I mean, no corner is perfect, but
I think he only made like $4 or $5 million last year too. So he's not going to cost you a ton of money. Yeah.
Yeah, Rhodes because he was coming off an injury when he left Minnesota, and he signed like a 1-year deal, and then think he's gonna after that 1-year deal play pretty well. So he's gonna go test free agency. I can see him going back to Indianapolis. With that Wentz trade, maybe the team looks more playoff ready.
Right.
And or him just taking a bigger pay. Like, so I think the Trufant Rhodes will probably be your best bets. I mean, boy, if you can get decent, offer to him and you're not breaking the bank or, overpaying, then he'd be okay. Cause he was, when he signed with Denver.
Yeah. I believe he made around 10, 11 million last year.
If you can get him for like 8, I think that'd be okay.
Right.
For 2 years, 15.
Yeah. Cause like you said,
12 guaranteed, then 3 incentives or whatever.
I'm a little nervous having to depend on Greedy Williams. I still think he can be a good player, but coming off the shoulder, the nerve, whatever.
Nerve injury, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're getting, yeah. So I'd rather have, Denzel Ward's decent is good. He could be an all-pro corner, if he doesn't keep getting concussions. Yeah. And if you can add a Desmond Trufant or Xavier Rhodes to play the number 2, and then you can sign a safety to go along with those 3, your back end 3 is fine. Where you're still lacking is your middle of your defense, and
right.
We'll see what comes up with that option. When we talk about that position, but
yeah, we'll get into that one next week.
But Rhodes and Trufant would probably be my one. Rhodes 1A, Trufant 1B, and then 2 would be Boye, and then maybe DJ Hayden. Right. I just don't think Patrick Peterson's leaving, and I don't want to roll the dice on Norman, McCourty, or Sherman. Right. Just too old. And Buster Screen isn't. I don't think he's anything special that you're gonna want to. I'd rather draft a player than sign Buster Screen.
Yeah, he's a nickel guy.
Yeah, so I mean, and if you sign Terrence Mitchell, or Kevin Johnson, there's your nickel.
Right.
I mean, so you already have that guy. You could already have that guy coming on your team. So,
and if we upgrade, get another defensive end opposite Garrett, and upgrade our linebacking, having Ward and Mitchell as the starters, at least to start the season, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
No, but I'd still rather have an upgrade there, like
right.
over
I
Mitchell.
would too. Right.
And Rhodes and Trufant, in my opinion, would be upgrades over Mitchell.
Right.
I think Boye would probably be the biggest upgrade, but I'm just trying not to spend much money because I'd rather you guys spend them. I'd rather Cleveland spend the money. I'm looking at this from a GM perspective. I'd rather Cleveland spend the money in the middle of their defense.
Right.
The middle of the defense. And then in the front seven is where I want to spend money. Preferably linebackers, edge. If that's how I was drafting, it would literally be Collins, Bolton, and then whatever edge is the best edge available. Because now you're looking at third round. So like I have them written down. I could look. I just on top of my head. I think the guy at Penn State might be there. Right. Or there's three guys out of Miami that you got Phillips and Rose said they're gonna be gone, but the third guy could be there in the third round. I haven't seen them go. A couple mocks. I had saw Cleveland going Collins, edge, which is that Joseph Osai out of Texas, and then drafting Baron Browning out of Ohio State as their linebacker. So you went linebacker, edge, linebacker, and then if you adjust the corner and safety in that free agency, your defense is 100% revamped, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Yep. So before we get into the free agent safeties, look at there's a couple corners that are on the trade block who've already been rumored for the Browns. Stefan Gilmore from the Patriots. He's got 1 year, $10.6 million left on his contract.
Yeah, but he's 30 years old.
Yeah, and then the one that really intrigues me is Marshawn Lattimore, 24 years old. He's got 1 year, $10.2 million. Pairing him up with Denzel Ward again would be pretty nice if you could agree to a long-term contract, because it would be contingent on that. I'm not going to trade for him and then risk losing him after 1 year. But 24 years old, I mean, you could have those two as your cornerstones on the corner for 3-4 years.
Yeah, but I see the Saints. They created a bunch of cap space with restructuring of a couple contracts. So, and I don't see them let Lattimore go, unless they get wowed with the trade offer, which you're looking at like a first and most likely a first or third, or a first and a player.
Yeah, that's the thing, is he's going to probably demand too much to give up in the deal.
It's going to cost Cleveland a first. Any team, most likely a first, in my opinion, a first round pick. Because Marshawn Lattimore is one of the top 6, top 7 corners in the NFL, in my opinion. And so he's, like you said, 1 year deal. So now you have to guarantee it's got to sign and trade, and you're looking at a 5-6 year deal worth north of $15 million each year from our Lattimore. So you're looking at $60-70 million contract for Lattimore. Now then you got to go ahead and you got to pay Baker still. You got to pay Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
So you're investing a lot of money in Marshawn Lattimore when you have other places that are going to be.
And Ward too. Ward's up.
Yeah. Well, if you get Lattimore, you could probably let Ward walk, or trade him in his 5th year, sign him.
Yeah. If Greedy Williams ends up becoming a pretty decent player.
You could trade Ward, so you still have Lattimore, and then you can probably recoup a second or third and draft your heir apparent.
Yeah.
That's what I would do, but I'm looking at, if you sign Lattimore, you're looking, like I said, 60 million, 70 million, with probably 35 guaranteed.
Right.
But now you got to find your 6-7 year, 6-7 year, $24 million plus year contract for Baker. So you're looking at $120 million contract for Baker at the low end. Yeah. And then you're looking at, you got to sign Chubb. You can't just let Chubb walk.
No, definitely not.
Chubb's the heart and soul of that offense. I don't care what you say, Baker and Jarvis. If it wasn't for Chubb, you guys they wouldn't have the ability to throw the ball, because they just drop back. Chubb keeps the defenses honest, and Baker keeps them from stacking the box. So.
Oh, I agree. Moving back to the safeties, looking at the free agents available, the top ones, you got Anthony Harris, Ricardo Allen. I'm probably going to mess up this name. Jaquiski Tart from the 49ers, Trey Boston, and then Sean Williams. I know they've been interested in Anthony Harris in the past via trade. So that's a guy that could make a lot of sense, especially with the Stefanski ties from the Vikings.
Yeah.
And then the guy that I couldn't pronounce the name, we'll just call him Tart by his last name. Obviously, he has ties to Joe Woods being with the 49ers defense.
Yeah.
So that there could be a match there too. I don't know a whole lot about him.
I'd sign Harris or Trey Boston. I think they fit more of the defensive scheme that Woods runs. Even though Tart played with Woods, I just think those guys are they're better overall, in my opinion. They may not be as young as Tart, but I think they're better. And you're signing these guys to a 2-year, maybe 3-year deal, and you're going to draft a guy here in the next 2 drafts to see if you have your safeties of choice, especially if you can sign Ronnie Harrison to an extension and Carl Joseph to extension. If Jarrell Close to play, you sign a 1-year deal, he plays really good. You can sign to a longer deal, and you can have your Carl Joseph is still pretty young. He's like 25, 26 maybe. So you can see him for like 4 or 5 years. They can sign him to a 4 or 5 year deal now, like him and Ronnie Harrison, extend them both, and then you have your safeties. Like you have guaranteed safeties that are that could play and play efficiently. And if you can sign a Harris or a Trey Boston, you just created one of the better safety teams in the NFL.
Yeah, I think Harris is going to be the guy they pursue, and same with just like the corner position. I'm a little nervous with Grant Delpit coming off the major injury, being a rookie. I've never played an NFL game yet. I don't want to have to depend on him, from day one. Kind of ease him back in.
Yeah,
being a backup for his first year. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad thing.
No,
if you could get a guy like Harris, who's one of the top-notch safeties in the league.
Yeah.
Trade-wise, I haven't heard any safeties really available, so I think free agency will be the route to go there. And
Kenny Vaccaro could be a safety coming available if Tennessee decides to cut him for cap issues, and Malcolm Butler could be a cornerback come available too if Tennessee cut, because they're looking. Even Adoree Jackson, like those 3 have been names I read that could be cap casualties to get Tennessee back up there because they want to sign an edge rusher, they want to sign another receiver, so they may end up franchise tagging one guy and then having to bring up a receiver. I've heard Juju Smith's name. I've heard Marvin Jones to Tennessee. I don't know. I don't know. Juju Smith would be a good number 2. I think he's probably one of the better number 2s in the NFL. Talked about before. Behind AJ Brown, I think that'd be a great receiver core. But
once they set that cap, then you'll see some movement. Some guys will probably become available.
The cap can go up and can create more cap space for teams too. Like when they set that cap, they can increase it for $10 million, because right now it's based off of an estimated cap.
Yeah. So
if everybody's like, "Oh, you're $4 million under," well, if the cap goes up and they set it $15 million higher, you're actually $11 million over now.
Well, I imagine under. They got to be doing that here soon because free agency starts the 15th, another week. So I would assume that number will probably be set at some point this week.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. So what do you I've heard this mentioned too. I know he's coming off many injuries, but yet another injury. Signing Malik Hooker to a 1-year prove-it deal.
I don't know. I really liked him coming out of Ohio State, not just because I'm an Ohio State fan. He was a really ball hawking safety like that. He could find the football, and I just think he's too injury riddled, and I wouldn't want to risk the cap space, especially when safety's a position of need. You don't want to take a gamble on a position that you need a starter, right? If you're looking just for some backup or some depth, and you want to pull, a what if on a first rounder that had really good tape coming out, and we know his potential, sure, go ahead. But with safety being one of Cleveland's biggest needs going in this offseason, I don't know if I want roll the dice on a player that's had major injuries. Right. Just doesn't make sense. I get it. We're looking for a starter.
I'm really interested to see what happens with this Higgins thing. It just seems odd.
Yeah, what are you going to? So Higgins leaves. You got what? Landry, Peoples-Jones, and Beckham is just top three.
Yeah.
Do you go after Corey Davis? Tennessee doesn't sign him. Do you go after Kenny Galladay? What, Juju?
I
What do
don't
you do?
I don't think they're going to invest a ton of money in that position because they already have a ton invested with Landry
Yeah, they got a
and
ton
Beckham.
invested, but if you
And
can go get, let's say you can go get Corey Davis for 4 years, 45 million. All right, you're looking at 12, less than 12 million a year, right? And then
right.
you cut if Odell Beckham just walks, you can just cut him after this year.
Well, you look
And
ahead. I don't care what anybody says. After this year, one of those two is going to have to go with all these guys we have to
well, there was an
sign.
article that what's the name of Kevin Stefanski said doesn't necessarily mean that way. They said we don't care how much money is invested. If it works, we're going to keep them.
Well, I'm just saying after this year, they've got Baker, like you said, Baker, Chubb, Ward, all coming up for
Like I'm saying,
contracts.
so if you can get Corey Davis or Juju for like a 45 million, 4 year, 45 million contract, and you can make it, and you front load it, front load the contract, make it, and send us in the end, make it player oriented in the beginning. So if you cut Juju, right, if you have to restructure Corey Davis, you can move it to the back now to sign Baker or sign Chubb, and now you still have, and then you can maybe try to re-sign Jarvis Landry.
Right.
Now you have a Corey Davis and a Jarvis Landry. You still have those big names, and you have Peoples-Jones who could come into his own and become even better. Or
Yeah,
he could.
I think he's going to turn out to be a pretty decent receiver.
Cleveland's had okay luck with Michigan receivers. Braylon Edwards was pretty good.
Yeah, and I
In the
remember
beginning.
Urban Meyer saying that he thought that Peoples-Jones was going to be a really good NFL receiver.
Urban Myers tried to grab him.
Right.
He recruited him. So we'll see, but
yeah, we'll see what happens there.
That's gonna be the story like these front news right there. See what happens if Higgins walks. You need to reproduce that. You need to replace that production or that player in.
Right.
I don't think you just go anywhere. I think you need to add a bigger name there because you don't know what Odell Beckham's coming into. Health situation. He's a diva.
Yeah.
He can just choose not to play.
Right.
Because this offense Cleveland's running is not an Odell Beckham focused offense. And he needs to know that coming in, that he's not going to be targeted 110 times this year. He may get 65, 70 targets. Landry may get 65 targets. Peoples-Jones 40, and so on and so forth. You're not. And then Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt are going to be used a lot because they run, play action, run, play action, and they catch a defense sleeping. That's what Tennessee does. They have the same style offense.
Well, who knows too if the torn ACL is going to affect his speed at all too and mobility.
Yeah, he may not be the same Odell Beckham.
Right.
Now, Adrian Peterson came off a torn ACL and won the MVP.
Yeah.
So he can come back and just have an MVP, 1,200 yards, 14 touchdowns, just go ape shit.
Yeah, everybody's body reacts differently, so we'll have to
who knows?
see.
We'll see what happens. But it's gonna be interesting to see what happens in that receiver courtroom. I truly would have just paid Higgins, traded Odell Beckham. Everybody says, why would you want to get rid of elite talent? Okay, just hear me out. Yes, bringing Odell Beckham back. How many games is that gonna have to help you win? Maybe 1, 2. He's gonna have a win,
Right.
1.1 and 1.5 more games, maybe. If you were to trade Odell Beckham and be able to get let's say you get a starting caliber, not like a Pro Bowl or all pro caliber, but a starting caliber, above average linebacker from a team, right? And you can solidify that defense. How many games that defense lose you guys last year? As a true Cleveland Browns fan, because I'm a Titans fan, obviously. So everything I say about the Browns is obviously unbiased. All right, I'm speaking my honest opinion, good, bad, ugly, whatever. But as a true Cleveland Browns fan, Kevin, how many games did the Cleveland Browns defense ultimately lose you guys last year?
Most of them. I mean, they were downright awful in some of those games.
Some close games you guys had. You lost because you guys couldn't stop nobody.
Right.
So I watched pretty much every Browns game this year. Because that's like local TV. And I have Sunday Ticket for Titans game. So I watch Titans on one TV, the Browns on the other, and I watch them both.
Yeah.
And if you guys didn't outscore your opponents consistently, you guys lost. If it was a close game, your defense didn't allow you to win.
Right.
You didn't help yourself. So if you can solidify the defense who lost you probably 3-4 games last year, maybe let's say you were what, 11-5, 10-4.
11-5.
Okay, so you're 11-5, not 10-4, 10-6. So 11-5. So let's say you could probably pull close to probably been with Odell Beckham, maybe 12-4. With a better defense, 13-3.
I agree.
So you win 2 games more with, and then you had a pretty easy schedule too. So you win 2 games more with a better defense. So you're 13-3. You're looking at a possibly a better lineup, better playoff matchup. You were not going against Kansas City, and your defense is even with your defense, like your defense couldn't stop their backup. They let him run for like a 16-yard scramble.
Right.
All right. And what was his name? Michigan, out of Michigan. He's a quarterback from Michigan.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Like Kansas City's backup.
Yeah, Kansas City backup. Was you guys have 3rd and 13.
Chad Henne.
Stop Chad Henne. You stop him. You win that. You almost win that. Probably win that game.
Probably win the game, right?
You probably win that game if you stop him. But you let him scramble for 14 or 16 yards because you don't have a linebacker that can cut the end. You don't have a linebacker that can set the edge and force him out of bounds.
Right.
You guys didn't have that. You had no linebacker. Your linebacker core was obsolete. It was just gone.
I agree.
So you add a linebacker in this draft, and you could end up setting the edge. You can make that stop, and then guess what? You win that second playoff game. Now you're looking at you're looking at playing, I don't know, Buffalo.
Right. Well, supposedly the rumor is they're going to throw money at Lavonte David, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean,
he's not going to be cheap.
No, but he's not that young either, though. So
no, he's 31.
So there's other linebackers available that I thought would be a better play. But
yeah, I'm ready for it all to get started.
We'll see.
Excited to see what they do to beef that defense up, and then
they need it. So, but now next week we'll go over linebackers, and that should be we could probably just do straight up linebackers the whole show and be okay.
Yeah,
like no more Indians until actual regular season.
Right.
Because everything we talk about is just gonna be like, this dude is really good, and we won't see him again.
Yeah.
Minor league for next.
Yeah,
minor league purgatory. You know what I mean? Like
the first
names.
First week of spring training's good, and then it's like, okay, let's get to the regular season.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so we're 4-4, 500 ball. Get spanked by the A's. We get spanked by the White Sox. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So, like we said, next week we'll go over the linebackers, and like you said, that could take a whole show.
We could do it. I'm down.
And then we'll be pretty soon. We'll have to get our mock draft together.
Yep, that'll be coming up.
Yep.
I already requested those days off of work.
And then we'll, like we said, we'll do a bracket for March Madness. Selection Sunday is next Sunday, so we'll have the brackets available, and we'll see who picks the better bracket.
So next Sunday during the show.
Yeah, we
live
could
coverage of selection. We
could actually do it during the show if we wanted to, because
that's gonna be so boring every time just watching us fill out a piece of paper.
It would be boring.
We have it ready before the show. We can go over like our final four, our upsets, whatever.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that. Like that'd be a little better because if we just like, all right, I picked this team over this team. You?
Yeah.
All right, check.
I might fall asleep.
We'll never have viewers.
Right.
But
all right. You got anything else? I think I'm good.
Our signature outing call. You got anything else?
Nope.
I'm good.
All right, guys. Until next week, everybody have a good week, and we will see you same time, same place.